Hello everyone and welcome back. We're here for round number 1 of the 2024 Shelly Sharpe Memorial presented by Spinners on the Green. Vista del Camino XL layout. Well, we are now down to 3. Unfortunately, our defending champ Andrew Marwede had to withdraw during the front 9. He is out with a back spasm or a little bit of a back injury, but you know who is back? Parke Welck.
What is
Parker,
up, guys?
Here we are, hole 10, ready to wrap this round up. What do you got?
Yeah, hole 10. It's kind of a tough one if you don't keep it in the fairway, but if you do, it should be pretty easy. We have that Mando right off the tee that you need to get through, and then we have the OB on right and left throughout the whole way, but it should just be a forehand for these guys.
Especially when you have forehand specialists like Barela and Gossage on the card. Now Gibson going with a backhand here.
With a deep hyzer. See if it flips up.
Really doesn't flip up enough, and it's going to push hard to the left.
Does it stay in bounds, though?
I think there's going to be a conversation about it. You're going to have to wait and see.
That looks pretty close from here.
It certainly is.
Oh, you're so bad, dude.
Oh, no.
Aaron.
Throw better.
Way outright.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Your forehand's coming out so
Trick
high.
Spicy Boy, our cameraman, that is off on this right side, and then you're seeing it's not so much the line I'm worried about, but just look at the run-up he's got to deal with.
A lot of rocks. They can be tricky, especially if you're doing a run-up.
In terms of recovery shots, that's about as good as you could ask for.
Looks like Anthony is in the same boat on the rocks.
He does manage to stay inbounds, though, so he'll just have a standstill forehand. And on the dance floor, looking for another birdie.
You're like the line goes here. But like I don't think that means in. There's a line there, obviously, but like there's white paint on a lot of those lines. I see what you're saying. I gotta call it out. It's like your distance drags from the white.
Yeah, and I think that's the correct call. To me, it looked like from here you could see it was out of
Like I
bounds.
said, I thought it was out, but it's close enough to ask.
So hearing a little bit of the logic from Drew. Will be out of bounds. Now he's throwing his third, but he had such big distance here. I mean, this looks like he should be able to get up and down and save a par. I mean, he's going with a standstill approach. And it's pretty open.
Yeah, standstill approach, and it looked like a putter, pretty slow disc. Left it a little short. Giving himself a look, though. No. The dead center spit out.
You do not see that often. And it looked like it had good pace. You know, nothing that seemed obvious as to why that came out, but things not going well here for Drew as he's kicking off the back 9. Scorching front 9, going 6 under.
Great job on the par save. He came out very early on that release off the tee, so to get all the way up and down from back there, good on him.
And you guys saw as we closed out the front that Drew's 6 under was the hottest of all competitors. So he's out in the lead with this score. Now we're going to see a momentum shift. Drew's lining this up for bogey at best. Meanwhile, Barela has a tap-in birdie coming. I mean, the fact that it was even rolled that far to give him a tester, right? Like,
Yeah, spitouts are always no fun. You definitely don't want them on any sort of angle like he had. He's decided to get up and get some legs.
we'll head over to hole number 11.
Now, hole 11 can be tricky if you want it to be tricky, but There's only that OB on the right and then a few Mandos on the left you got to really worry about. But keeping it in the fairway, the hole is pretty long, but missing these trees, you're doing the right thing, and should be getting up and down here. Anthony throwing it over the moon.
And ultimately lands pretty much dead center fairway.
Now that's kind of where you don't really want to land. There's that main tree in the center you want to be either left or right of, but I think he'll have no problem just because he threw it so far up there.
And what you just said, that's fascinating to think about. You often would assume, oh, center fairway is going to be the best place to be, but when you have a few more obstacles coming up, there is maybe a left center or a right center you're saying that you'd rather be on?
Yes. You want to keep it as close to the out of bounds as possible
okay.
without actually going out of bounds.
Sure.
On either side.
Gibson is pushing that left side. We'll see if he's obstructed or not. AB looking to go big up and over again. Again, this not available to most golfers. As that one comes up on the left side. Like Goose's family's out there.
Yeah, they're having a conversation. They're definitely not laughing at the shot because that was pretty good.
And they're cheering him on.
Leaking out left. Did it stay in bounds? Looks like it did.
Yeah, very close, but it barely checks up for him. And Drew feels like maybe a little on tilt here after the last couple of holes.
Weaker putt got in there, and he'll take it.
It's funny when bad putts somehow stay in and not so terrible putts somehow come out.
And I bet you Drew's watching that saying some bad things in his head.
As
he
yeah.
doinks off the top there. You could see his frustration, hands on the head.
And I'll go back to that word momentum. You know, knowing that Drew setting the pace with the hottest front nine. Now Barela is trying to get past him and then create a little bit of distance even.
And a dead center putt. Showing no mercy.
Body language kind of says it all, doesn't it? The way
Yeah.
you watched, Barela kind of walk back, how he's feeling, like you said, no mercy, and just the confidence, things going so well for him at the moment as we head over to hole number 12. Daunting.
Yeah, definitely daunting. If there's any sort of headwind, it makes the hole way further because it is slightly uphill, 427 feet. You have to cross all of this water and over the gunite. If you go left too far, you're going to be out of bounds. But mostly just getting up there, keeping it safe, you'll do good.
Barela doesn't like it.
And there's the gunite out of bounds. So now he has the option, I believe, to either re-tee or go to the drop zone. I don't think there's an option to play from where you cross.
And this hole it seemingly has had Barela's number. I think back to the Big Arm Challenge. I think back to a number of other events here where, for some reason, he likes to get those up too high and fade those out hard left. I think he did that back-to-back rounds at the Big Arm Challenge just a month ago. Gossage was safe. Here's Gibson.
And you can see they're all just throwing straight hyzers. That is not normal. You guys come out and play this hole, you'll see you got to get everything into a full flex there.
I want to say this is 282 from the drop zone. So it's obviously distance isn't the issue, but just kind of that idea of, man, I don't want to go OB again and turn this into a big number.
Or even throw it too far past the basket and have kind of a scary comebacker.
Gossage doesn't want any part of it with the low ceiling. Now Drew has an opportunity to, I think, get something back here, especially on his card mates.
Hitting himself in the chest. Definitely got some body language out there right now.
It's not over for Barela yet. This is going to be for bogey. Barela is in. I mean, you can't debut your brand new jersey and then come out and double bogey in the same day. So Barela, keep it in check.
Definitely nervy with the raised basket and OB right behind it.
Try and retrieve Anthony's original drive, and Drew really has stalled out here in the last few holes.
All right, and hole 13, you have kind of just a big hyzer shot here. There's that Mando on the far left and water on the right. You'll see these guys just throw big spike hyzers over everything.
Put it in perspective, hole 13 plays as the second most difficult hole on the course. Hole 12, well, tied for second most difficult. So 12 and 13 back-to-back are two of the hardest 3 holes on this entire course. Going to be safe. See the green flag. Big shout out to all the spotters and volunteers. This event, of course, along with the Memorial Championship, early March couldn't happen without all the extra people out here helping out. Drew goes big.
Out left, and that's where the sidewalk comes into play. I didn't mention that in the whole breakdown, but it does come into play if you're throwing those huge spike hyzers.
He checked up just short of there. Probably a layup in store. And this has a lot of angle as well, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. I don't think he was trying to do that.
Maybe a blessing in disguise that he hits the tree and then falls right into the center of the fairway. And from here, this is just let's get up and down and get out of here with a par.
He kind of looked like he wanted it there. Gave it the height for sure.
I think we actually missed Drew throwing up toward the pin for him to lay up already. So Drew's laying 2, and now what a bonus birdie.
Absolutely. I mean, it takes a ginormous shot to even get in circle 1 there. So great job.
Yeah, Gossage joins just Chris Pates and Andrew Miranda. So only 3 birdies out of a 60-man division. So very impressive. Certainly a bonus there for Gossage.
And another squeaker as well for Gossage. Barely made it. Hole 14. You might see some people go straight up the middle, but there's a ton of Mandos and out of bounds on this hole. The proper play is to throw kind of a hyzer soft out to the right, have it land in the fairway about there, and then kind of throw a putter or a mid-range up to the basket, tap in for the birdie. Early 4 calls from Aaron. And it skips all the way back inbounds, missing all the trash cans and trees and humans over there. Looks pretty good to me. Solid shot.
And when you throw that good of a shot, kind of gives you both options, forehand or backhand. You can do whatever you want during the approach.
And the up the gut play. I would not expect this from Anthony. Unless he's trying to actually go for the pin. In trouble of hitting the tree, but it got through.
All the way past that looks like circle's edge. Looks like Drew is far enough to the right that this will force him, or excuse me, far enough left that it's going to force him to go with the backhand. See the Mando tree in front of him on that left side, so can't go out and around that. And now out of position here, Gossage has to play to the Mando and get around that first.
Now this shot, I think I'm laying this up. That's a very tight angle to do there.
Well, he makes forward progress, but that's going to leave him this long look at best for birdie. You know, after playing 12 and 13, two of the most difficult holes, you come here to 14. This is the third easiest on the course, so it feels like one you really got to get.
Absolutely. With back-to-back hyzers on the shot, the easiest shot to throw in disc golf, you really want to walk away with the birdie here.
Barela will move back to 7 under.
Gossage left himself with a tester and missed. You can see him he's always working on his putt even after he putts it. He's always flicking the wrist. But bogey on one of the easiest holes in the course. Definitely do not want to do that.
Yeah, you bogey 12 or 13, you're like, okay, well, plenty of people in the field are doing that. When you step up to 14, a bogey is going to feel more like a double. Drew taking nothing for granted.
And Drew played that very well. Just the hyzer shot. Keep it simple in the fairway. Never had a chance of doing anything other than getting a birdie there. Right, moving on to hole 15. You can get aggressive as you want in this hole by throwing a roller. The fence should stop you unless you kind of cut through the fence to get unlucky. But there are some Mandos on the left that you also need to worry about. This hole does seem pretty difficult to me. There are a bunch of trees in the way, but usually just a big turnover, a roller off the tee, and then a hyzer into the green. Hopefully you give yourself a putt.
Oftentimes one of the most difficult holes to also follow in terms of camera work. Let Spicy off the hook on this one, but that goes a long way up the center of the fairway after playing the big turnover flex shot that comes back for him. Here's Barela.
You really want this shot to finish right so you can open up the angle to get to the pin. There's a lot of guardian trees in the way you need to go around. No rollers. I really thought I was going to see a roller.
I mean, the fact that Barela once eagled this with a roller off the tee makes you think it seems like it's a logical play, like you said, especially when you want to finish on the right side anyway. Most backhand rollers will finish over there. Gossage will have a look for birdie.
Dude, why do you keep doing that when I did?
Does not like the shot there.
Oh, wow, straight through.
When it's all said and done, he's going to be about 20 feet from the pin. So it may not have been the best release, but it's going to be a great result.
And we see that a lot in disc golf, people hating it out of the hand. And we see it in putts too, which I think is hilarious. They make the putt after they hate it.
Gibson's able to go with kind of a low skip shot that brings him to circle's edge, just left of pin.
Connects. This is a great birdie to get. All three of these guys are looking like they're pretty close around circle's edge, inside the circle, so great job there. But normally it's pretty difficult. He loved it. Instantly looked down right out of his hand. He knew it was in. He was grabbing the mini. Love the confidence.
Blows out strong again. Keep in mind, hot round during the opening first round of last year's event was 10 under by Andrew Marwede. Jake Brown was telling us it was a little bit windier, considerably windier then. So 10 under, I think, gives you some idea of an obtainable mark that you know is going to be a good score out here. Couple holes left for these guys, and just like that, we're going to see Barela move to 8 under. Gibson not far behind at 7. Big thanks to all of our Patreon supporters. It's the way all this coverage gets to you guys. Here we are on 16.
We're going to be throwing some low ceiling shots off the tee, forehand or backhand, dealer's choice. But the main thing here is the roll away. You do not want to throw a forehand, get it on the wrong angle, and roll all the way down out of bounds over the cart path.
And yeah, 16 certainly playing on the more difficult side. Birdie's tough to come by here.
Drew making it look effortless. That was a beautiful shot. Does not get better than that, really. Ooh, this is in danger of going out of bounds right.
No. Are you kidding me?
And it does. Looked like it kind of slipped out of his hand. When you're throwing overstable like that, you really want to put more angle on it. And Aaron does a great job of making that correction. You probably saw, oh no. Oh no. This always happens to someone.
Out and around over the OB, and it has a... No. Okay. There was a chance it could maybe circle back. Now Barela, dangerous putt from 45.
Does he run this?
Does
Wow.
he bury it is the question.
Wow, he's smiling. He loves it. He knew he just hit a big one. He airballs that. It's pretty much in the water.
Yeah. See, another par save, no. And that is such a dangerous putt as well, because if that draws any metal, it probably pops up and rolls back down the hill. Now Gibson, birdie look. Just like that, after we saw some momentum shifting around, 9, 10, 11, 12, got Barela and Gibson both at 8 under. 2 holes left to play.
This one can be some nervy. Oh. Aaron. He's working on his putt. I think it's because he's like kind of switching some stuff up. But he'll get used to it, and he'll be in a true mid-season form here shortly.
Brutal double bogey. Dietrich Creative Designs can help you guys out. If you have any disc golf course design needs or equipment needs, they can help you. Just relocating to the Arizona area, so make sure you find their website in the description below. Here we are on 17. This is pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
This is my kind of hole.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to throw, that's for sure. A lot of fun to ace run. You either throw a forehand hyzer, backhand hyzer, or maybe even something soft up the middle.
You must land on the island or you go immediately to the drop zone.
And that was not the best effort throw there, as you saw Drew doing his best acrobatics act on one leg.
It's at least a 35, maybe 40 footer from the drop zone. So still some danger. But not for Barela. Not shocked to see 17 plays is the easiest hole on the course.
Uh-oh, this needs to sit, and it does. A lot of the time it just gets that little trickle roll, and it can scare you a lot, but Drew from the drop zone. Can be scary with the OB behind it as well. Buries it.
More like the Drew zone all day. Okay, maybe not. Anyway, nice putt by Gibson. Man, his putter has done some work today. I know we were talking about that early in the round. It feels like it maintained throughout. Barela, chance to get to 9 under. Nice work by Arizona's own.
Now, Gossage has missed some very short putts. See if he can get this. He does. Great job there by Gossage, keeping his head in the game. Finishing out here.
Speaking of finishing out, like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. Excited to bring you guys coverage throughout the weekend. Just shy of heading over to Southeast Asia, where we'll have additional disc golf guy coverage. Now, Barela, your leader at 9 under. Into the sun. and sticks the landing. And Parker, what do you think about this new tee pad that we're seeing?
I personally don't like the tee pad because I'm scared I'm going to fall into the water when I throw it.
Okay.
But I think it's a great hole. It really makes you think what you want to do. There's plenty of lines to go about it. The OB is actually much tighter than you'd think. The OB line is actually off the wall, so you can't just throw something hard into the wall. It makes you think.
That's a full meter, like we typically see it by a lot of the Pro Tour course layouts. It's a full meter, so you can't just bank it off, so to speak, like you're saying. Going with the spike and sticking the landing, no problem for Drew. Got 3 birdie looks from well inside the circle.
He dinks it. I think it was because of the crowd.
The putters look pretty good throughout, and Barela is going to let one slip past him here. Meanwhile, Gossage, a little bit of a roller coaster today. Close out at 4 under, and he'll do just that. And we're going to start to close things out. Parker, thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me. This was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it.
Well, yeah, we're going to see the scoreboard in a moment. You didn't do so bad yourself, and I'm going to spoil it for everyone out there. Parker will be joining us on the lead card for round number 2. Overall, how'd you feel like your round went?
Pretty decent. I've only been using my discs for maybe a week. I just got picked up by a new sponsor, PDGA, so I'm out here testing out how they fly.
All right, well, we're excited to see how it's going to shake out for us tomorrow. Again, that's Parke Welck. If you got any questions or any comments for him, leave it in the comment section below. That'll make you eligible for the giveaway. Barela and Gibson, your co-leaders, Andrew Miranda and Parke Welck, will round out the lead card. We'll see you guys for round 2 of the 2024 Shelly Sharpe Memorial, presented by Spinners on the Green.